Hello, it's Kate here. Thank you for joining me today. Today's video is a requested tutorial. I recently put this off the page Shake a Card on Instagram and it went down really well. So I'm going to show you how to make it today. Now, really quickly, I do just want to say that at the end of the video, it goes a little bit crazy and jumbled. My phone managed to lose a load of the footage during filming. I'm not sure how, but I'm talking you through it all anyway, and you'll get the gist of what I've done, so it won't be an issue. Now, to start with, I'm going to use the Wild and Free stamp set. This came with Creative Stamping magazine at some point last year, and I'm going to be stamping the image on a piece of plain white cardstock. I believe I had cut it to about 5 by 5. But what I'll do is I'll measure everything and just put all the measurements on my blog, and then I'll also link that in the description box of this video. So I'm going to start by stamping the owl because that is the image I really want to pop. I will also be using this log, but because I'm going to mask the owl off and then have him sitting on the branch, I need to stamp the owl first. Now, it's taken me quite a long time to master the whole masking and stamping and what order to do it in, but I think I finally got a handle on it. So if you'd like me to do a little video on that, then let me know. I'm more than happy to do so. So I'm going to be using Memento Tuxedo Black ink to stamp my owl. I love this ink. I use it for lots, but there are a few more inks that I'd like to try, so watch this space because I might diversify as the year goes on. So I'm using my Stamp to Impress stamp platform. I love this platform. I'm so happy I bought it. I know I ummed and ahed a lot last year about which one to buy, but I definitely made the right decision. And I'm just putting a lot of pressure down to make sure that I get a good impression. But then I wanted a better one, so I did go over it again, and I used my microfiber cloth to rub over the top because I just think that helps. So I'd already done a mask for this. I've used a post-it note. I do have the proper masking stuff, you know, the masking sheets, but I just think when it's something small like an owl, I just grab out a post-it. So I'd already done that because I've made one already. So I grabbed that, and then I've got my branch and I've just positioned it slightly over the top of the feet so that it looks like he's sitting on the branch. And then I'm just again doing a couple of passes and using my microfiber cloth to clean my stamps. So I'm done there. I did think I should stamp the sentiment now, which is why I kind of paused. And then I was like, no, I'll do that later, I'll crack on. And actually, stamp your sentiment now. It's so much easier to do it now than later. Now, I am going to slightly colour this in. I'm going to use my Black Widow pencils, and I am loving these pencils. Oh my word, these are the best pencils I have had. I have swatched them all out, and yeah, I love them. So I'm going to use some greens and then some browns for the branch, and I am literally only going to colour the branch. I'm not going to touch the owl. I don't know that you'd call this spotlight colouring per se, but I am only adding a tiny bit of colour. So I'm just going to speed the video up while I colour that because I'm sure you don't really want to watch that. But you can use any medium you want. You don't have to use pencil colours. You could use watercolours or markers, chalks, whatever you want. It's up to you. But I'm just really quickly adding a little bit of colour into this image. So I hope everyone is safe and well. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, please give it a massive thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe. It really means the world to me every time I get a new subscriber, and I hope you will enjoy all my future videos. I have quite a few filmed already and ready to go up, but I'm trying to stick to 2 a week, occasionally 3. But yeah, there's some exciting things coming, so stay tuned to the channel. So once I'm happy with how this has been coloured, I can put my colours away and grab this die set. Now this is one that I got. It was supposed to come with a magazine, but I don't know which one. I just got it free from Craftstash, and I'm using just the outside of the leaf for now, and I've lined it up so it's partially hanging off the page, and then I'm just going to hold it in place with some washi tape. I do love washi tape for holding dies in place because it's so low tack that it doesn't rip my paper. And then you can get all this fancy blue tape. All the top crafters use that blue tape and stuff. Washi does fine for me. I'm more than happy with it. So now I'm going to bring in my Big Shot and I'm just going to run that through once, back and forth, to cut the leaf out of the cardstock. So that's what I'm doing now. My plates are quite bad. I have got a replacement one, but why replace something that's still functional? That's what I say. Quite surprised at the lack of shake as well that I'm seeing while I'm watching this back. Normally I get a lot of shake because I'm working on a little metal table, so happy that I haven't just given you all a headache. So that's now cut out from the cardstock, and I can actually get rid of that leaf section because we don't need that anymore. But if you wanted to keep it for future projects, you could do. I think I actually did manage to throw mine away. Then I've got a scrap piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to cut out the veins from the leaf with the piece we've just cut out, so I get the whole leaf. So I'm going to need that towards the end. So again, I'm just going to hold it in place with the washi tape once I've got it in a position I'm happy with, and I'm going to run that through the machine really quick. Now you absolutely don't have to use a leaf die. You can use whatever you want to, or you could just cut a shape in your cardstock to do this. I just really wanted to use this die, so that's why I am using it, and it works so well with the owl image as well that, you know, I wanted to use it, and because I'd already done it once and it worked, I just thought I'd do it for the tutorial as well. So this is the piece I'm going to want to keep. When all this washi comes off and I take the die away, you will see I have a die cut of a beautiful leaf. I could have coloured it in. I actually left it white. I think it was really effective as it was. So I'm just taking it out of the die, and I'm going to keep this because I'm going to need that for later. And I do try to work quite tidily. I don't always succeed, but I do try. So I'm just having a quick little tidy up here. Now you're going to need some acetate. This technique is great for using up scraps of acetate. So I'm bringing in my scoreboard because I actually want to put a score line down the centre of this just to make it easier to fold. Now I'm pretty sure mine measured 6 inches across, so I was scoring at 3 inches. And then what you're going to do, you're going to create a pocket. It's really, really easy to do. So you're going to really fold along and burnish that score line you've just made, which is what I'm doing here. As you can see, I only use my fingers. I don't use a bone folder or anything, just my fingers was fine. And then you're going to grab some red liner tape, which I have here, if I can get the end. And then I find I get more control by putting it through my hand like this. Do it however you want, but you're going to put 3 rows of tape on up each side and across the top. And then to make the pocket, all you need to do now is peel off the side 2 pieces of tape and really seal it well. You don't want to leave any gaps, but you also don't need to use foam tape for this, which I love because I really struggle with foam tape even on a shaker cards. So I have made my pocket. I'm just making sure the top is All good. And now I bring in some sequins. Now for this you need some quite small flat items, so you could use sequins or whatever you have, as long as it is flat-ish, because it needs to move. And I went for 3 different colours. You could do whatever you want. Now I actually don't think I used enough in this one. I think I nailed it in my first one, and when I was doing the tutorial I didn't put enough in, but that's just my personal preference. It's up to you how many you use. So I'm just tapping them down and making sure they're all at the bottom, and then I'm going to seal it off at the top. Again, making sure there is a really good closure so nothing can escape. And then I can get rid of my scoreboard because I don't need that anymore. So we'll just get rid of the tools and we can move on. Now this is kind of where the video might start going a little bit crazy, because from here on in I don't know what happened. So you use the scored line to put up against the edge of your card, and you do line it up with the edge of the cardstock. Now I used some red liner tape to hold it in place. I put some along the top line where my sealed edge was, which is what I'm doing right now. God, I take ages. And then I also put some red liner tape around the edges of the leaf shape, but only where I knew it wouldn't be seen. So that's what I'm doing now. And then I also put some down the straight edges of the shaker pocket, and then all I do is put that on the back, as you can see now. So then I'm going to start assembling my card base. So I have a piece of foiled cardstock which is about 5.5 square, and I stuck that down. Then I decided to stamp my sentiment, which didn't go very well, but as I say, you do need to do it at the beginning. And I used a sentiment that said, you may be another year older, but you're another year wiser, because I just think it's a lovely sentiment, really. So that's what I'm going to do in a second. I used my stamp platform again. As you can see, it didn't go very well the first time because of the shaker pocket being on the back, and even with my shim it didn't work well. So definitely stamp it at the beginning. I don't know why I decided not to. That was just my mistake. So once that has been stamped and you are happy, you'll be able to now put the leaf on the front. I used Cosmic Shimmer to glue the leaf onto the front of the card because it dries clear, so if anything does escape, it'll dry clear and it won't matter. So that's why you can now see veins over the top of my leaf. And then to attach it to the card base, I actually used some foam squares just to give it a bit of dimension, because you need a little bit of lift. And this is the finished card. I think it's really effective. I really hope you like it, and I'm really sorry for the jumbled up at the end video, but I hope it's all made sense. Let me know if you're going to give it a go. Thank you so much for watching today. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.